Let's say you want to start a Bitcoin company in the US. Chances are you're going to need a money transmitter license, or rather 51 of them because 47 states, 3 territories, and the District of Columbia each have their own permitting process for any business that handles money on behalf of its customers. Here's Megan Burton, the CEO of the Bitcoin exchange firm CoinX, talking about what this process has been like for her company.
Some applications have been in for over a year, and we're unable to determine the path forward as it's not a clear process.
Fred Ursum, co-founder of the Bitcoin wallet firm Coinbase, says that so far becoming compliant in just half the states has taken his company 2 years and cost $2 million. But dealing with the states is just the beginning. Bitcoin firms also have to abide by the rules of the Federal Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the U.S. Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which just sent a chill through the industry by fining the cryptocurrency startup Ripple Labs $700,000 for allegedly violating its rules. Jerry Brito is the executive director of Coin Center, an industry advocacy group.
It takes lawyers in each state. It means criminal background checks in each state. It means bonds for each state. It's a huge barrier to entry.
Instead of sorting out this regulatory mess, government officials are piling on even more red tape. Benjamin Lawsky, New York State's top financial regulator, has spent the last year hammering out the details of the so-called BitLicense, which will apply to any company that serves customers in New York.
Right now, the regulation of virtual currency industry is still akin to a virtual Wild West.
Lawsky points to a slew of recent headlines about drug sales, alleged money laundering, and theft in the Bitcoin world. But these activities are already illegal under existing laws and regulations, and New York already requires that companies obtain a money transmitter license.
It's duplicative. It doesn't achieve any new purpose to require 2 licenses. When you do the background check for one license, what's the point of doing a background check for another license?
While the final details won't be released until later this month, the most recent draft of the BitLicense has provisions that specifically duplicate federal regulations that are already on the books.
It has an anti-money laundering provision, which is something that's unprecedented. Anti-money laundering is something that the federal government handles. It's handled by FinCEN, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network at the Treasury Department. So now, if you are a business, not only do you have to file suspicious activity reports and do know your customer for the federal government, now for the first time you have to do it for a state as well.
Bruce Fenton is the executive director of the Bitcoin Foundation.
We already have existing laws against fraud, against hacking. So really what we are left with is something very onerous and burdensome for not just American companies, but companies all over the world.
Instead of stating you can't do business until you meet every requirement that has yet to be defined, give us a probationary license so that we can get that process moving forward.
Ideally, a small startup could go to one place, wherever that is, and have clear and simple rules that they could follow to get that licensing.
We don't know when the next Facebook is going to come along, started by a guy in his dorm. What if he would have had to spend $4 million to start that? We would have never seen it. We may not even know what kind of innovations are around the corner if we stifle that innovation before it even has a chance to start.